Somewhere on a 5-acre homestead, a farmer is doing math that most people never think about. Not spreadsheet math, not stock market math, chicken math. How many eggs will this bird lay before her body gives out? How much meat will she put on her frame if she's culled instead? And which choice actually puts more money or more food back on the table? This is the hidden economics of the backyard flock, and today we're ranking the 8 breeds that do it best, the dual-purpose chickens that were bred for centuries to do both jobs at once, eggs on the table every morning, and a stockpot-ready bird by autumn. We're not just listing breeds, we're breaking down egg output, meat yield, feed conversion, growth speed, and real profit potential, so by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which bird belongs in your coop. Let's start at number 8. Coming in at number 8 is a bird almost every backyard flock owner has met at least once, the Plymouth Rock. Recognizable by its black and white barred feathers, the Plymouth Rock isn't flashy, and it doesn't need to be. It's the reliable, unglamorous workhorse of American poultry. Developed in the northeastern United States in the 19th century, it was one of the original all-purpose farm birds, and it still holds that reputation today. On the egg side, a healthy Plymouth Rock hen lays around 200 to 280 brown eggs a year. That's roughly 4 to 5 a week, which is solid, not spectacular, but dependable, even through colder months when flightier breeds slow down. On the meat side, roosters typically dress out between 6 and 8 pounds live weight, reaching a butcher-ready size in about 16 to 20 weeks. The meat is often described as flavorful, with a slightly firmer texture than commercial broilers, the kind of bird that rewards a slow roast. So why number 8? Simply put, the Plymouth Rock does everything well, but nothing exceptionally. Its feed conversion is average, its growth rate is average, and its egg output is good, but not class-leading. It's the steady B-plus student in a class full of overachievers, a fantastic starter breed, but not the profit champion. At number 7, we have a bird that looks like a golden cloud wandering around your backyard, the Buff Orpington. Bred in England in the 1800s by William Cook, the Orpington was designed specifically as a dual-purpose bird for cold and wet climates. Its dense, fluffy plumage isn't just for show, it's functional insulation, which makes this breed a favorite in northern climates, where winter egg production usually crashes. Egg production sits around 180 to 250 light brown eggs annually. That's roughly high 4s, which is slightly behind the Plymouth Rock, but Orpingtons are famous for continuing to lay through winter far better than most breeds, which matters if year-round output is your goal. Where the Orpington really shines is meat weight. Roosters can reach 8 to 10 pounds, some pushing even heavier, making them one of the larger traditional dual-purpose breeds. The trade-off is time. Orpingtons grow slower than commercial hybrids, typically needing 20 to 24 weeks to hit ideal butcher weight. Temperament is a genuine selling point too. Orpingtons are famously docile, making them ideal for families and mixed flocks. But calm temperament often correlates with lower feed efficiency. These birds tend to eat more relative to their egg output than leaner breeds. Profit-wise, the Orpington is a strong meat performer with moderate egg output. It ranks 7th because that slower growth rate stretches out your feed costs before you see a return. Number 6 brings us a bird with one of the most striking appearances on this list, the Wyandotte. Instantly recognizable by its laced or patterned feathers and rounded rose comb head. Developed in the United States in the late 1800s, the Wyandotte was bred specifically for cold hardiness and dual productivity, making it a favorite across the American Midwest and Canadian prairies for well over a century. Egg output lands in a strong range, roughly 200 to 240 brown eggs per year, with many keepers reporting consistent winter laying thanks to that compact, well-insulated body and small rose comb that resists frostbite. On the meat side, Wyandottes typically dress out around 6.5 to 8 pounds, reaching table-ready size in about 20 weeks. The meat is well regarded, moderately fatty, flavorful, and well-suited to roasting. The Wyandotte pushes up to 6th place is its efficiency. It converts feed to both eggs and body mass better than the Orpington, and it tolerates cold and confinement better than most birds on this list, which matters enormously if you're running a small space or northern operation. The downside, broodiness. Wyandotte hens frequently go broody, sitting on eggs instead of laying new ones, which can quietly eat into your annual egg totals if you're not managing it.
Number 5, we have a genuinely underrated breed with a fascinating backstory, the Delaware. Created in the 1940s by crossing barred Plymouth Rocks with New Hampshires, the Delaware was actually America's leading commercial meat breed for a time, before the Cornish cross broiler took over the industry in the 1950s. In other words, this bird used to be the industry standard, and it still carries that genetic advantage. Egg production is impressive for a meat-focused breed, around 200 to 240 large brown eggs annually, rivaling dedicated layer breeds. But meat is where the Delaware earns its ranking. These birds grow noticeably faster than most heritage dual-purpose breeds, often reaching a solid 7 to 8 pounds by 16 weeks, several weeks faster than the Orpington or Wyandotte. That speed translates directly into lower feed costs per pound of meat produced, which is the single biggest factor in real-world profitability. The Delaware's white plumage also means cleaner-looking carcasses after processing, which matters if you're selling meat directly to customers or at a farmer's market. Its only real weakness is availability. Delawares are a heritage breed with smaller hatchery numbers than more mainstream options, so sourcing quality stock can take more effort. But if you can find them, they're one of the most balanced profit performers on this entire list. Number 4 is arguably the most famous chicken breed in America, the Rhode Island Red. Developed in Massachusetts and Rhode Island in the 19th century, this deep mahogany red bird became the backbone of American egg production for decades, and its genetics still run through countless commercial hybrid layers today. Egg output is where the Rhode Island Red dominates. A strong hen can lay 260 to 300 large brown eggs a year, with some individuals pushing even higher. That's near the top of any dual-purpose breed you'll find, heritage or otherwise. Meat production is solid, if secondary to its egg fame. Roosters reach around 6 to 8 pounds by 18 to 20 weeks, with firm, flavorful meat that heritage breed enthusiasts often prefer over bland commercial broiler meat. Feed efficiency is another major strength. Rhode Island Reds are famously hardy and thrifty foragers, meaning they convert less expensive feed and more foraged food into eggs than almost any breed on this list. The reason it lands at 4 instead of higher is temperament and meat speed. Purebred Rhode Island Reds can be assertive, occasionally aggressive, especially the roosters, a real consideration in mixed or family flocks. And while their meat is good, it doesn't outproduce the top 3 breeds still to come.
At number 3, we have a bird that's essentially the Rhode Island Red's faster, meatier cousin, the New Hampshire. Developed from Rhode Island Red stock in the early 20th century, breeders selected specifically for faster growth, quicker maturity, and better meat conformation, creating a bird that keeps most of the Rhode Island Red's egg-laying strength while adding real muscle and speed. Egg production sits around 240 to 280 light brown eggs annually, nearly matching the Rhode Island Red. But meat is where the New Hampshire pulls ahead. These birds mature faster than almost any heritage breed on this list, often reaching 7 to 8 pounds in as little as 14 to 16 weeks. Genuinely broiler competitive speed while retaining true dual-purpose genetics. That rapid growth window is a massive advantage economically, since faster growth means fewer weeks of feed bills before slaughter. New Hampshires are also known for excellent feed-to-meat conversion, broad breasts, and a calmer temperament than their Rhode Island Red ancestors, making them easier to manage in mixed flocks. The only reason this bird isn't higher is that its egg numbers, while strong, don't quite reach the absolute top tier, and it's a rarer, more specialized breed that can be harder to source from mainstream hatcheries. Number 2 on our list is a breed that's been quietly excellent for over a century, the Sussex, one of the oldest documented chicken breeds in England, with roots tracing back to Roman-era Britain. The Sussex, most commonly seen in the speckled or light color varieties, is often called one of the most genuinely dual of all dual-purpose breeds because it doesn't really sacrifice anything to achieve balance. Egg production is excellent, 250 to 290 light brown to tinted eggs per year, rivaling dedicated laying breeds, with many keepers reporting near daily laying through most of the year, including winter. Meat production is equally impressive,
Sussex birds grow at a good pace, reaching 7 to 9 pounds by around 18 weeks, with broad, meaty breasts that were historically prized in English markets. This breed was in fact one of England's premier table birds for generations before commercial broilers existed. What earns the Sussex the number 2 spot is its sheer consistency across every metric that matters: strong egg count, strong meat yield, efficient foraging, good temperament, and excellent cold and heat tolerance. There's almost no weak link in this breed's profile. It narrowly misses the top spot only because our number 1 breed edges it out very slightly in overall growth speed and feed efficiency, the 2 factors that most directly translate into real dollars and cents. And at number 1, the breed that takes the crown for best overall eggs and meat profit balance, the Australorp. Developed in Australia in the early 20th century from Black Orpington stock, the Australorp was specifically bred to outlay and outproduce its English ancestor, and it succeeded spectacularly. In 1922, a single Australorp hen set a world record by laying 364 eggs in 365 days, a record that still gets referenced in poultry circles a century later. Modern Australorps typically lay around 250 to 300 large brown eggs annually, placing them at or near the very top of this entire list for egg output. But here's what makes the Australorp truly special. It didn't sacrifice meat production to get there. Roosters commonly reach 8 to 10 pounds, among the heaviest of any bird on this list, while still maturing in a reasonable 18 to 22 weeks. The meat is well regarded for its flavor and texture, closer to heritage Orpington quality than to a lean commercial layer. The Australorp's black beetle green sheen plumage is also strikingly beautiful, but more importantly, this breed is known for exceptional feed efficiency, calm temperament, cold and heat tolerance, and reliable broodiness when you want it, and minimal broodiness interference when you don't. Put simply, the Australorp gives you elite egg numbers and heavyweight meat production in the same bird, with fewer trade-offs than any other breed on this list. That combination, high output on both fronts without a major weakness anywhere, is exactly why it takes the number 1 spot.
So let's recap the full lineup from 8 down to 1. Number 8, the Plymouth Rock, the dependable generalist. Number 7, the Buff Orpington, the cold hardy heavyweight. Number 6, the Wyandotte, the efficient frost-resistant layer. Number 5, the Delaware, the fast-growing former industry champion. Number 4, the Rhode Island Red, the legendary egg machine. Number 3, the New Hampshire, the speed-focused meat producer. Number 2, the Sussex, the ancient, perfectly balanced all-rounder. And number 1, the Australorp, the record-breaking king of eggs and meat combined. Here's the real takeaway, though. The best breed on paper isn't always the best breed for your situation. If you're in a brutal winter climate, the Wyandotte or Orpington's cold hardiness might outweigh raw numbers. If you want meat fast and don't mind sourcing a rarer breed, the New Hampshire or Delaware could beat the Australorp on turnaround time. And if you're running a small backyard flock purely for eggs with meat as a bonus, the Rhode Island Red is still hard to beat. Profit in a backyard flock was never just about which breed lays the most eggs or grows the biggest breast. It's about matching the right breed to your climate, your feed budget, your timeline, and your goals. So, which one's going in your coop? Let me know in the comments which breed you're already raising, or which one this list just convinced you to try. And if you found this useful, subscribe for more breed breakdowns, homestead economics, and real numbers behind raising your own food.